So today we discuss about the structural analysis and the fragmentation pattern in the mass spectrometry. In the last class we have already discussed about the isotope ratio data as well as the uh, different terms, important terms in the metastable ion peak, the base peak, the fragmented daughter ion, parent ion, and some other important terms. So today we will discuss about the structural analysis as well as the fragmentation pattern, how it will you can predict the fragmentation takes part in the mass spectrometry, so that you will find different m by z ratio values in the mass spectra. So before starting with different rules or mechanisms, first the general idea about the mass spectrometry, how the fragmentation proceeds. So in this case, you know that when the sample molecule, any molecule, is in specially for the EIMS, that means electron ionization mass spectrometry. In this case, the sample molecule, when it is inserted in the ion source, then it is not excited with the high energy electron beams, and when these electron beams incident on the sample molecules, the molecules loses one electron. And you know, say this is your sample molecule. When you excited this with high energy electrons, it loses one single electron to generate the molecular ion peak. Now why it will lose the electron? Because when this high energy electron incident on the sample molecule, the molecule is to some extent excited to its adjacent higher energy level. And you know, during this collision, when it is excited to the higher energy level, the molecule itself contains different vibrational energies. Say a molecule like simple propane. Here you will get CC bond, CH bond, different type of bonds, and you know each bond having the different vibrational energy. So during this collision, when the molecule absorb the energy, it will absorb the energy during this collision. It is excited in their higher energy level. Now when it is excited to their higher energy level, that means this extra energy places the molecular ion in the higher excited vibrational state. Now this vibrationally excited molecule may be unstable, because we know this is in the ground state. When it is excited in the higher energy vibrational level, the molecule got excited and it becomes unstable. So when the molecule becomes unstable, it will try to lose some amount of its energy. How the energy can be lost? It can be lost by breaking of some bond. That means during this incident of the high energy electron, the vibrationally excited molecule now try to come back its ground state, or it will try to lose its extra energy when it is excited by this high energy electron beam. So this energy release can be possible by the breaking of the bond. So when this breaking of the bond will take place, that is the fragmentation. That means you will get the daughter ion or the fragmented ion. Now you know that lifetime, that if the lifetime is greater than 10 to the power minus 5 to 10 to the power minus 6 in this order second, then you will get the molecular ion peak as the generally the base peak. Not a base peak, you will get the molecular ion peak in the mass spectra. But when the lifetime of this molecular ion is less than 10 to the power minus 5 to 10 to the power minus 6 second in this order, then in the mass spectra you will not get the molecular ion peak. In that case, you will get the fragmented ion peak. So during this fragmentation, this is the scenario, that in a nutshell, that the molecule got vibrationally excited, then it will try to release its excess energy. And during how the excess energy release can be possible, if there is the breaking of the bond, and depending upon the lifetime of the sample molecule, you will get the molecular ion peak as well as the fragmented ion peak, or you will get only the fragmented ion peak except the molecular ion peak. Now during this fragmentation, you can see that when the molecule, say this is the organic molecule, in this molecule this is without any nitrogen atom. Like the example, simple benzene or simple cyclohexene. So you can see that here 6 carbon is there, so 72 plus total number of its hydrogen is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, that means 8 plus 2, that is 10. So 82, this is the molecular weight of the cyclohexane. So this is the even mass. So you can see the example that the organic molecules devoid of the nitrogen atom, generally we know that the organic molecule constituent carbon, hydrogen, this is the mandatory one, but in case of other heteroatoms like oxygen, nitrogen, generally these two are majorly present in maximum organic molecules. So if the organic molecules devoid of the nitrogen, then that the molecules is the even mass. And not only that, you can see that this molecule is electrically neutral, and not only that, the molecule having even number of electrons, it may be sigma electrons as well as the pi electrons. Here you can see 2 pi electrons is there, and simultaneously you can see 6 sigma bond in the carbon framework. So all the sigma bond contains 2 electrons. So basically this is the even electron system, not the odd electron system, and as well as the even mass. So in this case, the molecule devoid of the nitrogen, say if I consider it as a M, when it is incident in the high energy electron beam in the before the ionization chamber, in the ionization chamber, it will ionize and form the radical cation, and this is a single electron. We will not bothered about this single electron. Now here you can see this is the radical cation, so 1 electron loss system. In the first case you can see this is the even electron system, or in short we can write it EE, that is the even electron system. Now upon incident with the high energy electron beam in this exposure, it becomes the odd electron system, because already 1 electron is less. So we can represent it is as OE and designated as OE plus dot. So now in the ionization chamber, if the lifetime, this is the molecular ion, if the lifetime is molecular ion is less than 10 to the power minus 5 to 10 to the power minus 6 second in this order, then this will be got fragmented, and this fragmented ion next accelerated in the ionization chamber, and it will inserted in the analyzer, and finally you will get through the detector as well as finally the recorder, you will get the M by Z ratio of the fragmented ion peak. So now in this case, when this is the odd electron system, by applying the Stephenson's rules, now the rule is important here. So before using the Stephenson's rule, first we have to consider, you can open the PDF which I have shared in the Google Classroom earlier, that is the structural analysis and the fragmentation pattern. Here everything is discussed in detail, and I am summarized here mainly the basic part. Okay. So before starting with the Stephenson's rule, first we have to consider that from which portion is responsible to lose the single electron or the one electron during the excitation with the high energy electron beam. So we know generally a molecule contains non-bonded orbital, pi orbital and sigma orbital. You know that the sigma electrons or the sigma bond is the more stable bond, say CC sigma bond. So this is the strong one. So you have to supply more energy to excite this sigma electron. Similarly, pi bond is less strong than the sigma bond, it is more polarizable, so that if you excite, you need less amount of energy to excite this pi electron. That means you need less energy to release one single electron from this pi bond. And you also know that the non-bonded orbital or the non-bonded electron, like which contains the heteroatom, specially non-bonded orbital is loosely bound to this molecular system or to this molecule. So you need the least energy to transfer one electron or to lose one electron from this non-bonded orbital. So this is the initial ionization effect. This initial ionization effect delineates that removing of electron order is non-bonded orbital greater than pi orbital much greater than sigma orbital. When there is no chances of presence of non-bonded and pi orbital, then only the electron will be removed, single electron will be removed from the sigma orbital. Otherwise, if the non-bonded orbital present, from this orbital first the electron will be removed. Then if non-bonded orbital is absent, pi is present, then electron will be removed from the pi orbital, and the similar will be for the sigma orbital. So this is the initial ionization effect. Now the Stephenson's rule. Stephenson's rule basically deals with the number of electron system. That means during the fragmentation, all these rules are applicable to generate the either molecular ion peak, how the molecular ion peak generates, which will be the m by z ratio, as well as it also deals with the fragmentation pattern. So in Stephenson's rule, here we mainly deals with the type of the fragmentation, that how fragmentation or at which side the fragmentation will proceed. So in a molecule, you know, generally in mass spectrometry, we always deals with the plus charge or plus dot. That means either we will deals with the cation or we deals with the cation radical cation. Then we will get the corresponding m by z value, because m by z value, this z is actually the charge. If the species is not the charged species, then we will not find any m by z ratio. Okay. So this is the prerequisite condition in the mass spectrometry, that the fragmented part or the molecule should be charged. Otherwise, we can't deal with in the mass spectrometry. So that means the neutral species is mass inactive. Mass inactive means m by z ratio inactive. And similarly for the radical species, this is also a single electron species, neither cationic charge nor anionic charge. So this is also m by z inactive. Okay. Now during this fragmentation, you can see when the positive charge is generated, we know that there are several factors which can stabilizes the positive charge, and why the fragmentation proceed in a particular direction, not all direction. The particular this direction is mainly guided by different electronic factors. We know the electronegativity. That means say a bond is CCl bond, okay, and there are other substituents. In this case, you know chlorine is the more electronegative atom and it has the non-bonded electrons. So how the fragmentation will proceed? In this case, when you expose this molecule in high energy electron beam, as you know the initial ionization effect, that this is the non-bonded electron, so it is very much liable to lose one electron. So upon excitation, first you will get the radical cation. This is the radical cation, and not only that, if I consider this is the molecule, so this will be the molecular ion peak. Okay. Now here you can see, so it has a certain m by z ratio. You can see it in the mass spectrometry or the mass spectra depending upon its lifetime. Now here you can see that the chlorine is the electronegative atom. So if it is the electronegative atom, it can easily drag the bond electron towards itself. That means this bond can be easily clipped. And say here this is hydrogen, this type of residue present. So it is better to break the bond here than here, because you know carbon hydrogen bond is non-polar. It is not polar bond and there is no change of the electronegativity. So basically depending, so this is one factor, that means the electronegativity facilitates the fragmentation. Similarly, if there is the chances of the polarizability, you know the polarizability like Ci bond, more polarizable bond than the CCl. If we compare these two, here Ci bond becomes more polarizable than the CCl bond. So this is another factor that can influences the fragmentation. The other important factor is the stability of the cation. This is another important factor. How you will designate it? Say so this is neopentane. When you expose this is high energy electron beam, first it will generate the molecular ion. Then next step we have to find, is there any chances of fragmentation or not, and after fragmentation this residue can generate the stable cation, yes or no. If yes, then fragmentation will proceed. So in this case you can see that this all the bond is symmetrical, or we can split it or show it like this way. So now there is two chances, either this bond can be broken or this carbon hydrogen bond can be broken. If the carbon hydrogen bond is broken, that means fragmentation takes part in this way, you will get CH3 plus H dot, because you have to balance the charge also. You never eliminate only hydrogen as atom, either it will be eliminated as radical or it will be eliminated as cation, and you know hydrogen cation is not stable. Here hydrogen cation elimination is not possible. And another pathway, say if I consider the second pathway, here you can see that upon fragmentation plus dot. So here you can see this is the 1 degree carbocation and this is the 3 degree carbocation, and this 3 degree carbocation is more stable than the 1 degree due to the hyperconjugation. There is 9 hyperconjugating structure. So this is the another stabilizing parameter. So such parameters or such electronic factors, it will influences the fragmentation of the molecular ion. And during this fragmentation you must consider or you must have to maintain the total electrons of this system. So this electron system, that is considered as the even electron rule. In Stephenson's rule, this is the important one, that is the even electron rule. Okay, in the first previous examples I have shown all the species. One is radical species, one is the cationic species. But there is other possibilities also, that the neutral species can leave the molecule. Okay, so in that case, just for example, like this one, so this is the ClH, this is the CH3, CH3. This is the neutral molecule. In this case, so this is your molecular ion peak. You know it will be eliminated from this non-bonded electron. So as a whole you can show it or you can reside in this position. It will depend when you will show how the fragmentation will proceed. Now in this case, basically this is the double bond cleavage. I will show in the later other example. So here you will get, upon excitation it will form the molecular ion. Then this molecular ion got fragmented, that means this bond will be broken, this bond will be broken, and as a whole by this breaking it can generate H dot Cl dot and simultaneously the other two dot here. So they will homologue, bind, equal share of the electron and generate the HCl from this residue. You know HCl is the neutral species, no charge is there, but you have to maintain the total charge. So this charge will reside CH3 as a whole. This is the radical cation. So you will get the M by Z ratio of this species. So how you will predict this? Generally say this is your unknown fragmentation. You do not know what is the fragmentation pathway of this system. Say it has certain mass, say having mass M, and in the mass spectra you are getting the other, this is the strong peak and another strong peak you have found for this M by Z ratio having molecular mass M minus 36.5. So that means the M by Z ratio found at the M minus 36.5, which indicates that some residue leaves the molecule having mass 36.5. So 36.5 is possible when HCl leaves the molecule having chlorine 35 Cl isotope. I am not discussing the isotope ratio data, but I am just signify how the neutral residue influences the M by Z ratio. So this is the neutral residue which leaves the molecule and you will get the mass here. So then you can predict that this is the fragmentation pathway and you will get the daughter ion. So here you can see this is the total charge, this is the odd electron, here this is the neutral molecule. So that means neutral molecule, no charge is there, no unpaired of electron is there. So this is the even electron, that is the EE. EE neutral, no charge is there. And here again you will get This is the odd electron system because it is the radical cation, one electron less system. So this is the OE plus. So from this even electron rule in the Stephenson's this designates that the fragmentation will always follow in two ways, by maintaining the charge of the molecule as well as the fragmented ion. So this is the molecular ion, this is the odd electron. It can be splitted into the new fragmented ion, this is also odd electron, plus this is the neutral one, the example which I have shown, that is the elimination of the HCl. It is the even neutral molecule. So this is one pathway. Another pathway is, this is pathway 1. Another pathway is, this is the odd electron. It can be fragmented. The previous another example, that is the elimination of the H plus, generation of the carbon carbocation, elimination of the H dot. It can generate the fragmented cation plus the radical species. Total charge is balanced. Here you can see total charge is balanced, electrically neutral, total system. So here it is also total charge is balanced. So you know cation means formation of the cations possible when the leaving group leaves the molecule by abstracting total bond electron. Total bond electron means one bond equivalent to 2 electrons. So 2 electrons will be less generally when the carbocation is formed. So this is another cation, that is the carbocation. It may be carbocation or whatsoever, it is the cationic system. So again it is the even electron system. And this is the odd one, or you can show B dot. Now this is the odd one plus C plus, this is the even. So it will depend upon the stability of the residue, which I have mentioned. That means the polarizability, the hyperconjugation, the resonance, the conjugation, octet rule, all this deals with this stability of the cation as well as the radical. So this is the two basic rule for the fragmentation pathway. That means the balance of the total number of electron as well as the stability of the fragmented part. Now as for example, so for this system, ethyl benzene. In this case, first bombardment with high energy electron. So when it is bombarded with high energy electron, here you can see that only sigma and pi electron present, no non-bonded electron is there, and in between sigma and pi electron is loosely bind with the system. So the electron, single electron will be lost from the pi orbital to generate the molecular ion. So our first step is to generate the molecular ion. So we can show it. So either this electron can be lost from this here. Why? Because here you can see this is CH3 as a whole. First we will write the molecule like this way. So this is the molecular ion peak, sorry, the molecular ion, or we can represent it plus just simple one electron lost from the pi orbital Why this pi orbital? Because here radical is stabilized. We can also lose electron from here, but in that case the radical is not stabilized so much. Here is a 3-degree type of radical, that's why it is lost from this position. Generally, in between the pi orbitals, the electron will be lost from that pi orbital which is more substituted. This is pure pi orbital, that means pure CC double bond, and this is substituted double bond. So in a system, if both type of double bond is present, less substituted as well as the more substituted, the electron loss will take place from the more substituted double bond, because here electron density is high and energy is higher. Okay, so after formation of this, now there will be the fragmentation. How the fragmentation will proceed? In this case, we will show the fragmentation like this way, that we can break this bond. Generally, we will not touch this aromatic system in this case. Okay, so we will break this bond homolytically. So if homolytically we break the bond, this electron will be here and they will equally bind, and simultaneously CH3 dot leaves the molecule, so that it can generate plus CH3 dot. Now here you can see this is the odd electron system, this is the even electron system, this is the odd electron, this is the even electron, and this is the odd electron. So Stephenson's rule is satisfied and initial ionization event is also satisfied. Now after formation of this, you know, this is directly converted to the, here the M by Z ratio is actually 91. This is directly converted to the tropylium carbocation. This is as a whole aromatic stabilized, so that's why the ring expansion takes place. In the last class, I have discussed the process to form the tropylium cation, and here also M by Z ratio is 91. And in the mass spectrum for this type of molecule, as it is the most stabilized one fragment, so this is the most abundant peak. That means in M by Z ratio, say if this is the molecular ion, you will get the molecular ion will be the having higher M by Z ratio value. So this is the molecular ion peak. At the 91, you will get the tropylium carbocation, or for this carbocation, this is the highest intensity, so it is the base peak. That means the fragmented ion having the base peak than the molecular ion. Now in this fragmentation, we will deal with, or now in this initial ionization step, we can also show, say CH2 say primary amine, this is the ether. In this case, if you bombard this with high energy electron, you know bonded electron is present in the system, so one electron will be lost from this non-bonded orbital, so that in the first step it will generate the molecular ion like this way, that means radical cation. Similarly, here it can generate the radical cation by losing one electron, losing one electron from this non-bonded orbital. Okay. For the pi system, you have seen the example. Say for the cyclohexene, if I excite it with high energy electron, then single electron will be lost from here, and in between the sigma and pi bond, pi electron is loosely bound, so it can generate dot cation. For the sigma orbital, where only sigma bond is present, no pi electron is present, in this case, if you excite this with high energy electron bombardment, then this bond can be broken and it can generate radical plus plus, or it can generate plus radical. So basically this will be the mass active and this will be the mass active, not the radical one. So you will get different type of m by z ratio values. Now another technique is the radical site initiated cleavage. In the fragmentation, just a minute, I need to refill the pen. Radical, okay, radical site initiated cleavage. This is another type of fragmentation. Mainly we deal with the alpha cleavage, and this alpha cleavage means that is the alpha bond cleavage with respect to radical. This alpha bond not with respect to the functional group, this alpha bond with respect to the radical. And another type of the radical site initiated cleavage is the, this is one, and another one is the presence of charge site initiated site initiated cleavage. This one guided by the inductive effect. So one is the radical site initiated, that is the alpha cleavage. Another one is the charge site initiated cleavage, that is due to the inductive effect, and it is symbolizes by the small I. So how it will proceed, I will show just the example. First, the radical site initiated cleavage, that is the alpha cleavage. Here in this case, say example like I am considering a general formula. This is the heteroatom. This X may be either oxygen or nitrogen. Okay. So in this case, you know, in the first step is the high electron high electron bombardment. So upon this bombardment, the electron, one electron will be lost, and that will be lost from this non-bonded orbital. This is previously discussed already. So you will get this one. Okay. Now after this formation also, this is the molecular ion peak, molecular ion. Now after formation of this, you have to consider that if this is possible, especially for the long chain ether system or amine system, especially when the I will discuss the system, then you can see there is the chances of the alpha cleavage. This example is exclusively for the ether as well as the secondary or the tertiary amine. Now here in the generalized way, now with respect to this radical, so this is radical is attached with this center. So this we know this is the alpha position, this is the beta position. Now we are considering the alpha bond, not alpha position. So in this case, with respect to this radical, this bond, this is the alpha one, this is the alpha bond here, because it is as a whole attached with this alpha center, and this is the beta center, and this bond is designated as the alpha bond. So our target is to cleave the alpha bond. So here how the cleavage takes place. In this case, you can see that this bond can be broken in this site, and simultaneously the electron can be donated in this site. Sorry, this is the fish hook arrow, not the complete or full arrow. And similarly, so upon breaking of this, you will get CH2 dot plus dot. Here you can see we have balanced the electron because this bond is has been broken. It is 2 electron bond, so this is the 2 electron, and we have maintained the radical cation. Now after formation of this, they will be bind so that it can generate RCH2 dot plus. So this is the mass active, that means you will get the M by Z ratio for the fragmented ion for this one, because this is a charged one, this is not the charged species, and it is possible only when there will be the alpha cleavage. So this is the radical, you can see that it is influenced by this radical. We can show it also in the another here, and this radical will generate it here. So basically the mechanism or the fragmentation pathway is same. So this is the alpha cleavage. Another system is for the alpha cleavage. Say the radical is formed here and plus charge is here. So one system is generated. It is suppose your molecular ion, and the scenario is like this way, that the radical is generated here and plus charge is here. Now with respect to this radical, we will always consider here the radical. With respect to this radical, this is the alpha position, this is the beta position. So this is the alpha bond with respect to the radical. So our target is to cleave the alpha bond. So how you will cleave it? Dot in this side, dot in this side. So R. Now this is the radical cation plus they will bind. So it is the neutral residue. We will not get any M by Z ratio with respect to this residue, but we will get the M by Z ratio only with respect to this radical cation. So this is another type of alpha cleavage. The other type of alpha cleavage, the system is is the ketone, the X is oxygen, C double bond O. Here you will get, so this is the radical cation. Now with respect to this bond, alpha position, beta position, and this is the alpha bond. So our target is to cleave this bond. So how it will possible? Again, just dot, and they will be donated here, so that you will get dot plus X. Now here it will form the triple bond plus. So this is the M by Z ratio, it will mass active. You will get the peak with respect to this cation. So this is radical site initiated alpha cleavage. Now the charge site initiated alpha cleavage, the procedure is almost same, but here only difference is the same example like heteroatom, it is the radical cation. Now during breaking of some bond, say like COH2 plus, say in this case, this is the leaving group we know, we generally show the bond cleavage like this way. That means it will completely abstract the bond electron from here, so that it can generate C, the carbocation, plus OH2. The charge is completely balanced by abstracting the two bond electrons. So same thing will happen here. In the previous case it is guided by the radical, and here it will be guided by the charge, that means the cationic charge. Now depending upon the formation of the stable radical, the cleavage either may be possible from this side or it may possible from this side, and it will depend the stability of the cation which is generated here. So in this case, say this is the A and this is the B. By this pathway you will get from the A pathway R plus, because this bond is completely broken, and this plus charge is neutralized by the 2 electron. So you will get radical. Also you can see this is the radical cation, odd electron, this is the even electron, this is the odd electron. So Stephenson's rules is also satisfied here. Okay, and similarly if we break the bond from this side, we will get the R prime plus Y R dot. Okay, so this is the charge site induced, and depending upon the inductive effect, that this is the minus I effect, increasing the minus I effect will enhance the charge site initiated cleavage, and it is symbolized by the I. Now the another example of the fragmentation is the 2 bond cleavage. Already I have shown the example with respect to the HCl. So 2 bond cleavage, when 2 bond cleavage will take place, especially when the heteroatom is present or some halogen atom is present in the molecular system, and not only that, if the if the chain is the long chain, like if I generalized like this way, say X, this X may be the OH, this X may be NH2, or it may be halogen. Halogen means specially Cl, Br or I. In this system, that means for generally for the alcohol, amine or the haloalkane, you can get the 2 bond cleavage type of fragmentation, and here the N value is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in this case, how the 2 bond cleavage takes place? So if this is the, you can see this is the heteroatom or it may be the halogen atom. So it contains the non-bonded electron. So one electron will be lost from here. So in the first step, upon bombardment of the electron, it will generate okay, this is your molecular ion, and in this case you can see here hydrogen is also present. Okay, now here we can write this total molecular ion. That means generally we have shown that this charge is reside here, but as it is excited or the bombarded with the high energy electron beam, so as a whole generally this is our hypothesis that the non-bonded electron is labile, so it will reside here. But as a whole you can't predict at which position the charge is reside. We generally locate this charge here to understand the mechanism or to understand the fragmentation. So you can also write the system, because our target is to keep the molecule charge is fixed. This is as a whole the charge reside in this molecule, or you can write like this way. Now the system is, in the earlier example already you have seen that we have breaking this bond and simultaneously dot here and breaking of this bond here and dot here. Why? Because you know this is the heteroatom or it may be the halogen, and here is the chances of the neutral residue leaving. Okay, that means neutral residue can leave the molecule by this cleavage. So in this case we can write it H dot X dot you can see total charge is balanced. Okay, and after this step this will be bind and these two electron will be bind and they can form HX. This is the neutral one. If it is OH, H2O, NH2 ammonia, and halogen is the halo acid plus these two will be bind. So you will get the fragmented ion and you will get the M by Z ratio of this corresponding peak. Okay, so this is the, you can see that both the bond here, this is one bond, this is another bond, both the bond is cleaved. So this is the example of the two bond cleavage, and the system will be like this. This is the long chain type of system having n value 0, 1, 2, 3. If 0, it is possible it will generate the cyclopropane. If 1, it will generate the cyclobutane, 2 cyclopentane, and 3 is the cyclohexane. And you know cyclohexane ring is generally the stable ring. So generally if n is in the 3, that will obviously go through the 2 bond cleavage pathway. Okay, and X is OH, NH2 or X, that means the halogen, ClBr(I). Now the last two important example is there. One is retro Diels-Alder fragmentation and another one is the Mac-Lafferty, that means gamma hydrogen abstraction. These two is very important. So generally we know the Diels-Alder reaction, that is the 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. You already know this in the pericyclic reaction. Say this is your diene and this is your dienophile. So upon thermal condition, this is simple pericyclic reaction. This is the pathway so that it can generate the cyclohexane. So 4 electron plus 2 electron, so 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, this is the cycloaddition product. So this is the forward pathway, this is the Diels-Alder. So the reverse is the retro Diels-Alder. Retro Diels-Alder means if we just clip the bond like this way, it will be donated here, so that you can generate that this bond will be broken, and here is the formation of here is the formation of the new double bond. This bond will be broken. Here is the formation of the new double bond, and simultaneously this will be broken and formation of the new double bond. So we can write it like this. So basically both the structure is same. So the reverse part is the RDA, retro Diels-Alder. So we will apply this retro Diels-Alder type reaction or the mechanism in the fragmentation reaction, but which will be the retro Diels-Alder active. In a molecular framework, if you get any cyclohexene type of system in molecule or organic compound, if it contains any cyclohexene type of system, then we will not think about the other residues or other substituents. They may show other type of fragmentation, but if the cyclohexene type of residue is present in the molecular backbone, then it is RDA active. That means retro Diels-Alder active, or you will get the fragmentation is like retro Diels-Alder type, so that you will get the fragmented ion and get the corresponding M by Z ratio. So the example is like this way. So this is the system as a whole. It is the molecular ion. The total charge is localized or concentrated in the molecule. So in this case we proceed through the RDA pathway. So how you will show it? We can break this bond like this way, the radical type of pathway. Similarly, this bond can be broken here. This electron will be donated here. This electron will be donated here. Simultaneously it is donated here, and another pi electron is donated here. So as a whole you can see that this bond is broken. Here is the formation of the new double bond. This double bond is broken. Here is the again formation of the new carbon-carbon double bond. Similarly this bond is broken. Okay, and here is again formation of the new CC double bond. So this is the corresponding transition state, or as a whole you can write the molecule like this way. That means double bond R plus and the charge is reside in this residue. Okay, so this is the neutral one. In this RDA type fragmentation, the dienophile, this is the dienophile, this is the diene. The diene will be the charged species, that is the odd electron, and the dienophile will be the even electron species. So this is the example of the retro Diels-Alder type fragmentation. You can see that in the study material I have shown the RDA fragmentation for the limonene. This is the terpene derivative, and you can see that the dienophile is the charged species, that is the fragmented ion. And the last one is the Mac-Lafferty rearrangement type fragmentation. Here mainly we consider about the gamma hydrogen. Gamma hydrogen with respect to the functional group. It may be with respect to the double bond or with respect to the functional group. Basically the gamma hydrogen with respect to the pi electron containing functional group. That means it may be possible with respect to the C double bond O, with respect to C double bond C, or C double bond N, that means imine 1. So now the example is say R. So in this system, so if this is the O and this is another O, if I consider the A star molecule, in this case you can see this is the C double bond residue. Okay, so this is your functional group with, or that the C double bond Z. That means we are considering the gamma hydrogen with respect to the double bond. So here you can see this is the alpha position, this is the beta position, this is the gamma position. So gamma hydrogen is present here. So in molecular structure with respect to the double bond, if any gamma hydrogen is present, then it will show the McLafferty type rearrangement. So if this is the structure, this is your molecular ion peak, you can show it like this way. We can rewrite the molecule. So this is Y. So alpha, beta, gamma hydrogen is present. Now in this case the McLafferty rearrangement, why it is so important and it is feasible, because this rearrangement proceeds through 6-membered cyclic transition state, and 6-membered cyclic transition state is thermodynamically favorable. So how the mechanism proceed? There is the formation of the Z and H bond, breaking of the carbon hydrogen bond, okay, formation of the carbon-carbon double bond, breaking of this carbon Y bond, and simultaneously formation of the carbon Y double bond. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 atom or 6 element is involved in this pathway. So it is just like a cycle. So we can show it like this way. It will abstract this hydrogen, simultaneously this bond will be broken, and here is the formation of the double bond. So the mechanism of the transition state will be like R, H, formation of the carbon-carbon double bond, breaking of the carbon Y bond, formation of the carbon Y double bond, breaking of the carbon Z double bond, and formation of the hydrogen Z single bond. So this is proceed through the 6-membered cyclic transition state. This is the transition state. So as a whole the structure will be, so if this is the breaking of bond and this is the formation of the bond, so this is the double bond and this will be the broken, and here is the formation of the carbon Y double bond, and this is the breaking of the carbon Z single bond, and this is the formation of the hydrogen Z single bond, and it will be your charged species. So you will get, this is the neutral one and this is the charged one. So you will get the M by Z value for this residue. So this is the McLafferty type of rearrangement, that you can see this gamma hydrogen is abstracted by this double bond. So the system specially it will show McLafferty because alpha, beta, gamma. Again it will, this is the amide, this is the S star. It will also show the McLafferty. If this is the simple carbon-carbon double bond, alpha, beta, gamma, it is also, it will also show the McLafferty rearrangement type of fragmentation. Similarly, another system like aromatic system, so benzene. With respect to this double bond alpha, beta, gamma, so again you can see there will be the McLafferty type of rearrangement. For the heteroatom containing, that is ether, again you will get the McLafferty type of rearrangement. Okay. For the simple carbonyl system, it may be acetone, it may be ketone, it may be the aldehyde. It can show the gamma hydrogen abstraction, that means the McLafferty. So these are the systems and you will get the corresponding product. So